What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to take a look at something we did early on in the channel, that is blue high carbon knives with gun bluing. Worked fairly well, to be honest. It's just that I think either condensation or something like it made it so that, and it happened on a few other blades, not this, but not to this extent. Okay, not to this extent. So you can, I'll use the pointer because obviously I got it out. So a couple things. These are 1095 carbon steel. Either that or they're 1075. I think they're 1095. Obviously, Old Hickory was an Ontario knife company brand. They just went under recently. You could probably still get these around. I haven't really looked because I have most of them. I have all the ones that I want. I think the bluing probably helped keep it from spreading. I'm assuming condensation or whatever built up, and not on this side at all. I got it off with a case rust eraser. You can see it took off some of the bluing as well. I don't know if that's coming up really that well. What am I going to put on it? Bowling alley wax. Why? Well, a few reasons. One, bowling alley wax is one of the tougher waxes that isn't Renaissance wax. The Renaissance wax works very well, and they use it in museums to preserve things. But one, it's not necessarily food safe. I wouldn't call it food dangerous though, but it's just, I don't know about that, right? Like, and secondly, I think this is a little bit tougher. It's cheaper for sure. You can find it pretty easy on the internet. And the reason that I'm using it on something I'm going to use for food is that the kind of wax that this is, they take it from the wax off of like super waxy, like palm leaves would be a good example. Leaves of tropical plants is one of the places. They use it in candy, hard candy. So while I probably wouldn't eat tablespoons of this or big scoops of it, or I probably wouldn't jam my hand in there and take a big thing, I do feel pretty comfortable eating it, a little bit, microdoses of it. And I said this before on the channel, and I'll say it again. And I don't mean to offend anyone, but it's always weird to me in the knife community, a community so full of people who are either openly racist or and prejudiced, but also like people that I don't want to say racist, but maybe racial, that are very quick to laugh at racist jokes, tell them support people who are openly racist without any of the caveats of like, hey, you know, jokes are one thing, bigotry is another. It's weird to me that those people then turn around, and this is very, very common. They turn around and they're like, I can't have any of this, any trace amounts of the Renaissance wax in my food, that could be bad. And they turn into like these super granola hippie weirdos, straight up like, oh, I can't have that in my food. I can't have this trace elements of this in my food. But fuck this race and how they're lazy. To me, those things don't add up. It just means you're a big faker on both of those fronts. And I just don't really have much respect for that, especially when it doesn't make any sense. So there is that, and I've brought it up before. I don't want to keep bringing it up as long as it continues to exist in the knife world. Kind of like how like libertarians will say, like, they have that one saying, ideas so good they have to be made mandatory, when they make fun of like dumb laws being enforced. But then when you like post ACAB on Instagram, they have a meltdown conniption fit and like lurk all your stuff and try to like get you fired from your job and like all this other stuff. You know, if you're, let me just say this, if you're watching this channel, you best not be easily offended by anything, and you need to be accepting of other ideas existing around you. You should be chill, right? That's the kind of audience that I want. I don't want people who break down and cry over little things. I don't want people who freak out at maybe a racy joke. I want people that are cool, calm, and collected, right? And that are I would prefer you be courteous and kind to people, but you know, it is what, maybe you're having a bad day. But anyway, so yeah, I'm using this stuff. This stuff is not expensive. I've used it on a lot of different things. It's lasted a long time. They suggest that you put a coat on, let it dry, put another coat on, and then they say that is, or a 24-hour period. You wait 24 hours. They say that's like when it's really, really good and strong, hard. That's what she said, right? So yeah, just a little update. And look, is this the end of the world? No, this is a $10 kitchen knife, $15 kitchen knife. Full tang. You know, I'm not worried about this. There is no like trace rust left. It all came right off. It basically was, it turned into like surface corrosion. Try to get real close. It's not in there very far at all. And considering I've already used this, I don't really think it's going to affect the resale value too much. Do I think the bluing helped? I think so to a degree, yes. However, I think that the wax is a good choice for long-term storage. I hadn't used this in a long time, probably over 2 years, a year or so, probably more like a year or so, year and a half. Maybe more like a year. I don't know, but it's been a while, and I think the bluing is good for stuff that is like really high use. Like say it's a gun where you're carrying it quite a bit because you're carrying the gun a lot for whatever reason that might be. And the wax is probably a little bit better for other things. In this case, this. But yeah, that is about all she wrote for this one. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. And folks, hope you have a good rest of your day. I'm going to try to see if I can get in here real close. Bye now.